Hey there, Ryan Reynolds here. It's a new year, and you know what that means. No, not the diet. Resolutions. A way for us all to try and do a little bit better than we did last year. And my resolution, unlike big wireless, is to not be a raging and raise the price of wireless on you every chance I get. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited. See mintmobile.com for details.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
Yes, welcome one and all. Believe it or not, it's still January. It's still happening. We're still in this nightmare, it seems, of the never-ending month. January's such a long, tiresome month, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I've been quite glad of January feeling long.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like doing the job hunting thing and trying to eke my money out as long as possible. It's sort of like, oh well, I haven't got to pay the next lot of bills for another week yet, so it's okay.
That's good. Positive. Yeah. Anyway, well, that's good because I thought I started this episode too positive, negative.
Oh well, let's turn it up.
And then we'll turn up a notch a couple. Yeah, it's January still. It's about to end when this comes out. It will be the last day of January. And that means February begins. But it also means this has been a ridiculously long and busy month. Kind of for sequels, because we stretched that out as well.
We did,
like
yeah.
Good podcasters that we are. Rich, can you remember what we did?
Yes, I think I can. We did Mufasa.
We did.
The Lion King one. We did Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Is that right? Did I make that up? And we've done.
Did I make that up?
I can't remember because I watched all these things in December.
Oh yes,
it's weird. We talked about them in January, and then another one I watched in December: Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. I think that's what we've done, right?
And then we did the big yearly roundup.
And the big yearly roundup, of course.
Which was a lot of fun and also one of our longest episodes
very long,
we've done.
Yeah. It was a long episode.
But it was good. People seem to be enjoying it. No one's come back to me shouting at me quite yet.
Okay.
Which is nice. I was ready to batten down the hatches a little bit more about my best sequel pick of 2024. But I will take everyone's silence as that I'm correct, right? We won't tell people what it is, but it seems the least amount of people that say I'm wrong means I'm right in my head.
You keep thinking that, buddy. You hold on to that.
Like I said, the fans of that film in particular are a quiet bunch. So they're the ones who are really celebrating right now. So everyone is like, yeah, Dave, he had the balls to make that choice and say it out loud on a recorded format that will last forever, I imagine. He's so brave. He is so brave.
There's a very thin line between bravery and stupidity, right?
Yeah, but I'm verging on bravery more than stupidity. I don't think I did. Oh, actually, I did do something quite stupid the other day. I'm doing a puzzle, downstairs, a really big puzzle, and at the same point, I was eating crisps. Instead of putting a crisp in my mouth, I put a piece of puzzle. I nearly swallowed it. So
amazing.
It's been a long month. I was like, that doesn't taste like a crisp.
Dear.
Do anything stupid this month?
No, I don't think so. Not so far, anyway. But there's still time.
There's still a week to go. We're recording with a week to go, so Yeah, get ready for that. Thank you for the people that have emailed and sent messages and said nice things. I didn't do a call out for this episode because January is also like a big blur to me. I've kind of taken it as like a holiday to relax a little bit more after the craziness of basically doing 2 seasons back to back. So I've kind of taken my foot off the pedal a little bit more just to relax. And you know what? I have to because I'm trying to be more positive and happy.
Yeah.
So that's good. So thank you for the people that got in contact. Noah got in contact. He sent us an email about, well, the title of the email says Huge Davis. So thank you. It says, Noah, it says, "Hi guys, I recently listened to the Huge Davis episode and I really enjoyed it. But his wild robot opinion stood out to me. Like you, Dave," again, this is why I picked these emails. "Like you, Dave, I really enjoyed it, and it might be my best film of the year. First, can I agree this film is very fast-paced, especially in the beginning? Secondly, the film isn't a robot trying to be human. She clearly knows she's a robot. But rather a robot trying to fulfill a task and get those human qualities along the way. It's different from WALL-E in its own ways. I highly recommend this film in a very good way. Plus, DreamWorks announced a little while ago that they are going to start production on a sequel." So brilliant on the sequel stuff. I didn't see that. Yes, it is a brilliant film. I thought Rich was going to really love it when you watched it. I thought, how can no one love this movie? I completely disagree with Huge. And then Rich has watched this movie, and what did you say about it?
Well, we're going to talk about it in a minute.
Well, you spoke about it last week in the roundup as well, the yearly roundup.
No, well, I think what I actually said is we're going to talk about this properly in the end of month roundup.
Oh, you are setting out teasers all the time. Paul sent an email, again, from the end of last month. We missed out about Craven the Hunter. "Morning, chaps. Hope you had a great Christmas. This will be the shortest email from me to you because based on the trailer and having no clue about the character, I decided not to see this movie.
That's the right choice.
I feel justified in my decision. Love your reaction to Nathan's Rotten Tomatoes 5-star rating. It's one of my favourite things of last year. Like you, I often wonder if people have watched the same movie as me, but they have to remind myself that art is subjective. And that's very true. We have to remind that everyone has their own opinion. There's no wrong or right opinion when it comes to movies.
What's the saying? Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. They all stink.
Yes. But that also, you went for Nathan.
Oh, whoa. I just asked him if he was 12. That's all.
Honestly, the film is terrible, though.
It is terrible. It is terrible. I don't understand how anyone could not think that. I genuinely believe that Sony knew it was terrible and put it out on purpose.
I think so too. Last week in the big roundup, we mentioned that the only way we'll watch the Terrifier films, 1, 2, and 3, and the Zack Snyder, whatever they're called, I've forgotten the name of them, they're so irrelevant to me now.
Yeah, the Rebel Moon
there
extended bullshit.
We only said that we would watch them if we do it for charity. Anyway, someone, Melon Farmer on Blue Sky, said, "Great show. I've thrown a tenner for you to watch the Terrifiers." So it started.
Okay, good. Once it gets to 10 grand, then yes, we'll watch it.
Is that how much we're putting on it? We're going to go with 10 grand.
10 grand.
10 grand for charity.
If someone starts a crowdfunder, if it gets to 10 grand for like kids with cancer, then we'll do it. Right?
Does that make us bad people or good people? That we're
it makes us good people. We're going to put ourselves through 3 horrific Terrifier movies and possibly 2 of the most boring Zack Snyder nonsense ever. And we'll do that for charity. But we're not going to set the crowdfunder up. Someone else has got to do that.
We'll also do it in a row for 10 grand, as in 5 back to back.
Oh, what? In like one day?
Yeah, we'll film it.
Oh, God.
We'll get some pizza in. That'd be great.
Dave.
Rich, there is no way people are going to raise 10 grand for this. So I think we're safe. By the way. Unless our podcast gets hugely popular or like a billionaire starts listening and then thinks, that will be fun. Let's make these 2 idiots do that.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
Feel free for anyone out there to give that crowdfunder idea a go. Because, it is what it is. Esteban says on the Wallace and Gromit one, he says, "When you listed off what Aardman have done since Wrong Trousers, and considering how long these movies take to make, are they working on multiple projects at once, or is it done on a quantum realm? Great episode, chaps."
That is, they do. Yeah, they do churn stuff out.
At quite a rate.
They must have multiple teams working on multiple projects at the same time. It must be.
Yeah.
It can't just be like one after another, can it? Because it wouldn't work. Or, like you say, like Doctor Strange is involved and there's some sort of timey-wimey bollocks.
Well, like when we went for the list, I kind of forgot that they'd done a few of them, especially last year's Dawn of the Nugget. But I love Wallace and Gromit, and I really would like to go to Aardman because apparently, if you go in the lifts, Wallace does like floor one.
I thought you'd been already
in Bristol.
I thought you. Where have you been then? You've been to a Wallace and Gromit thing, haven't you?
Oh, that was the Cartoon Museum. I mean, actually, to Aardman, right, okay. The building where they.
Oh, I thought you'd actually been to Aardman.
Well, no, that would be dream stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, if anyone from Aardman's listening, see if we can get Dave in.
I'll have a tour. I'll take it. I'll come to Bristol. It's a lovely place. Some of my favourite people are from Bristol. Okay, I've also got to make the apology about the faux pas scheduling mess up on the Wallace and Gromit episode. There was a fuck up, wasn't there?
There's only a little one, dude. It's only a little one.
It confused everyone.
Beat yourself up. It's all right.
Especially me when I woke up to emails saying that a new episode had been released.
Me too.
And I thought, it's not Friday. What's going on? There was a problem with scheduling, and I wrote a hastily written Instagram post, which is badly worded, and now that will last forever, so I've got to live with that. So don't you worry. But some people were very confused. That explains it. Was trying to listen to it all day today and kept getting playback errors. We'll wait for Friday with bated breath. Thank you.
Who's that from?
Kata Basic Boar on Instagram.
Okay.
Posty Bry. I did think it was odd when I got to the gym seeing an extra episode of your amazing podcast. Excellent episode as always. Movie Wars podcast saying heads will roll. Because I said wrist will be slapped, stern words will be had. I spoke to myself very harshly. I was like, you get better. Because some people did get to listen to it. I know regular listener Mike was halfway through it when I said I was going to delete it. And it was like, I've only got 6 more minutes to go. But it all worked out well. People still listen to it.
Basically, if you get up very early in the morning, then you might have had a chance to listen to it before Dave realised.
Yeah, there was a moment I thought, should I leave it out there and not put anything out on Friday? But my brain, the way it works, I can't let that happen. Do you know what I mean? That would live with me forever. So I did delete it and I rescheduled it, and it was fine. It was fine.
It was fine.
So thank you to everyone for sending in what you thought, emails, comments, likes. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for actually looking forward to episodes when I accidentally release episodes. It was quite nice, to be honest, that I knew people were actually like, oh, brilliant, that was cleared up my day. And then I quickly took it away. You
did. You gave people a little present and you snatched it back.
Yeah, but the next day, another Slice episode was released. And if you really, really liked us, then you go to that kind of thing. So
on the Wallace and Gromit thing, we had a message from Regan, didn't we, out one of our special slicers. And she said that we're Wallace and Gromit, basically.
We are Wallace and Gromit. I don't know who's who.
I think you're Gromit, because you're the one who does all the work.
Thank you.
And I just coast through accidentally.
I will take that. Absolutely take that, because Gromit I love very much. But that's all for emails and stuff, so let's move on to the next thing.
Sequel news.
I had to see if you remembered what it was, and you did. I'm very proud of you.
I did. I just had to take a quick breath before I did it, though.
There is not much happening in January, sequel news-wise, but there are some big things. And one of them's going to make you laugh, I think, quite a lot. And that's the first thing I'm going to say, which is Robert Eggers, who's done The Witch and Northman and the new Nosferatu. God, why can't I say that name? Anyway, Robert Eggers is to write and direct Labyrinth sequel at TriStar.
Robert Eggers is doing a Labyrinth sequel?
Yep.
Oh. But Bowie's dead.
Bowie's dead, yes. Also, it's nightmare fuel for me.
Well, I mean, it'll be double nightmare fuel if it's Robert Eggers, surely.
Yeah, imagine how terrifying that's going to be.
Is it going to be, is like Jim Henson's workshop involved? You know, that kind of...
Deadline is reporting that Eggers has closed a deal to write and direct a sequel to Jim Henson's 1986 dark fantasy Labyrinth at TriStar. According to Deadline, the film is slated to be a sequel rather than a remake.
Okay. I think this is one of those ones where I'll believe it when I see it.
There has been quite a few years people have tried to get a Labyrinth sequel off the ground and worked. Fede Alvarez had a spin-off movie that never came out. Scott Derrickson tried to helm a sequel that fell through. I personally would not want to watch this movie because I'm terrified of the first one.
Yeah. We'll have to make you watch the first one again before...
I'm not watching the first one. Fuck that. Add that to the 10 grand. No way. I will watch the sequel. But this is like Robert Eggers doing a kids movie, and I still think it's going to be absolutely terrifying.
That does seem strange.
Jennifer Connelly comebacks, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah, that would be good.
Do we get to meet all those Hoggle and all those characters?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, has it got a release date? Have they announced?
No, apparently he's going to do. He's doing Werewolf or Werewolf, WERWULF before he does this. So
okay,
and that's scheduled to come out next Christmas, I think. So it'll be a couple of years until...
Oh, it's going to be a while. I just can't get the idea that it's like, I don't know, like the Goblin King and Hoggle trapped in a lighthouse farting. Like,
I'd watch that. Long as there's none of the people that throw their heads off or the hands are going down.
Well, there probably will be more of that stuff, I guess.
Or the goblins hiding under your bed kind of thing. No, thank you. Puppets is fucking scary. I imagine you have to use like puppets again, and that's the kind of magic they're after. And who do you get to replace David Bowie? Like, who's...
You can't. You just can't, I don't think.
Be a mad one, wouldn't it?
So, other than... So, Robert Eggers, Lighthouse, Northman, Nosferatu,
you can't get over this, and
right?
I love this.
I know, I can't, like... But has he done anything else other than that? I don't know his early stuff. So he's done The Lighthouse, he did The Northman, he's done Nosferatu.
He did The Witch or The Vitch.
Oh, right, okay.
And I think they're his full films so far.
Has he done, I don't know, has he done like a kids movie before that or anything at all? Or?
I don't think so, no.
Interesting.
Excited or not excited?
I don't know if excited is the right word, but curious, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will leave it a bit more when we start. Casting will come out.
Yeah.
Trailers. We won't get any of this for like another year, probably.
No.
So.
This is going to be a 2028 kind of release, I would say.
Yeah.
If he's got Werewolf coming out in 26, it's going to be like 2028, isn't it? He seems to do a movie every couple of years, doesn't he?
He's definitely got he's a great director. He's
absolutely. Like, I don't know. It seems an odd fit.
He likes to film things very authentically. So, like in the new film, there's a lot of rats down there with William Dafoe.
But does that kind of...
And The Northman was apparently awful to film. I've listened to actors that went through that.
Awful to make.
Yeah, because it was just so muddy. Like,
oh, yeah.
It was all filmed on location, and
but how does
it
that
was
work
fucking
with
cold.
Labyrinth?
I don't know.
Because it's a fantasy world, isn't it? Like,
he wants to make a film for his kids, I imagine.
Maybe.
Something like that. And that's...
Maybe.
I don't know, but it terrifies me in all the wrong ways. I'm terrified.
All right, okay, good.
Next bit of news, again, put it on the rumour mill. David Leitch is in talks to direct Ocean's 14. Brad Pitt and George Clooney expected to return.
Okay.
I think we've talked about this a little bit before, but he co-created John Wick and The Fall Guy. Is a good director. I think he maybe did Bullet Train as well. Or was that? Yeah, I think he did Bullet Train.
Okay.
Do you like the Ocean's films? Enough to warrant another one?
I've seen 11 and 12. I haven't seen any of the others.
You've never seen 13?
No.
Oh, yeah,
no,
there is 8, but that hasn't got Clooney or Pitt or any. That's the Sandra Bullock.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing against them. I just haven't got round to it. At least I don't think I have.
The first one's still the best one.
Yeah.
I think quite a mile.
It's one of those ones where I often think, I'll go back and watch all those. Like, do a marathon kind of, quite easy watching, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are.
And I quite like a heist
really smart
movie. I like a heist movie.
I really remember watching the second one and kind of really not liking that. I just felt like they just went around Europe for a holiday with all their mates a little bit more. And you got Bruce Willis, star of Bruce Willis.
I don't really remember it.
They had Julia Roberts pretending to be Julia Roberts.
I do remember that bit, yeah. I don't remember anything else, though. I couldn't tell you really what happens.
No. In the third one, Al Pacino's the bad guy.
No, I definitely haven't seen that.
He goes, a bit big. Hoo-ha!
Isn't Andy Garcia the bad guy in the first one?
First one.
Yeah.
And then I believe he rocks up maybe again in the third one, and maybe the second one as well. I think he's in all of them, apart from 8.
All right.
Which is...
I'm gonna give it a try. Again,
this is rumoured, so I just imagine, what we keep talking about the box office, studios are looking around to see what they've got on their slates and what they can dig up and hopefully score some money. I'm not,
Yeah, no one likes originality these days.
But the cast of those films are incredible if they get them all back. I mean, a couple of them have died, I think, like Bernie Mac.
Yeah, true.
And stuff. But you still got like Matt Damon, Don Cheadle, and people like that. Clooney,
Brad
Pitt.
Yeah.
It's not a bad list of actors.
Cast. It's going to cost you a lot of money to get them all together.
I think they all like each other, so
Well, Pitt and Clooney are still mates, aren't they? They did Wolves not long ago.
Yep. Apparently, there's also a prequel of an Ocean's 11 film in talks with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling reteaming for a European heist hit or something like that. So
interesting.
They're really trying to delve into that world and get all the money they can from it. Next bit of news. Again, this is rumoured. Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in Sean Levy's new Star Wars movie. Again, this is franchise news.
Yeah.
There's lots of... But I don't really delve into these Star Wars news stories because the amount of Star Wars films they've announced and never been made.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's not a bad idea. I think a Sean Levy Star Wars movie is something that could work. I think going sort of closer to a funny, sort of family-friendly-ish kind of Star Wars.
Well, who else? Taika's meant to be making one or got announced at some point.
Yeah.
James Mangold is
I feel a little burnt by Taika. I've got to be honest.
I know.
Since, the most recent Thor movie, and also Next Goal Wins wasn't as good as it should have been.
Well, it's not as good as a documentary.
No, it's definitely not as good as a documentary.
Who else? Ryan Johnson got announced he was going to make a new trilogy at some point. That's never come off.
Ryan Johnson?
Yeah, from
I thought they
Last Jedi.
I thought they weren't going to ever give him another go.
It hasn't materialised. I think his work on the Knives Out films have taken him away from Star Wars. The guys from the Game of Thrones people, they got announced at some point, and I think that's never happening. The Russo brothers at one point, I think, or even Kevin Feige said he's making a Star Wars film, and that's never happened. The director of Wonder Woman...
Patty Jenkins.
Brilliant Wonder Woman. Brilliant at Monster. Rubbish at Wonder Woman 1984. She was meant to make a Rogue Squadron film and that got cancelled. So again, a Ryan Gosling in a Star Wars film sounds great until it happens, I won't believe it. Like most of these rumoured news stories, to be fair.
I have quite enjoyed the most recent Star Wars TV show, but we can talk about that later. We can talk
about Star Wars and the TV stuff I watched. Okay, next bit of news. The Batman Part 2 has been delayed at Warner Brothers and won't release until late 2027.
Okay. Is that the Matt Reeves one, yeah?
The Matt Reeves one. So that was meant to come out originally 2025, then they announced 2026, and now we're getting 2027.
We were not enamoured with that movie, were we? We did not enjoy it.
No, I did not. I haven't gone back to it at all, and I thought I would have done.
Well, I've again, talking to TV that I'm going to talk about later, I've watched the Penguin series.
Yes.
And it sort of made me want to go back and reevaluate.
Okay.
So
I've heard the Penguin is good, and Colin Farrell.
Again, we can talk about that later.
But the reason that we're not getting probably more Batman quicker is because Matt Reeves has delved into the TV world with the Penguin, and I'm not saying taking his eye off the ball, because you want to take your time and make sure everything's right story-wise and stuff, but this was meant to be the young Batman, and he's quickly becoming
the middle-aged Batman.
Again, that we've kind of seen, because it'll be like 5.5 years, 6 years since the last one. that long one. But, great. As long as we get it at some point, I guess. Something to look forward to. Again, I'm not quite sure if this is going to work into the James Gunn's DCU or it's going to be a standalone thing. They haven't decided which way they're going to go, which is always fun.
I've not heard any Batman talk come from James Gunn. It's all Superman at the moment, isn't it? So maybe that's why.
Andy Muschietti, the guy who did The Flash, I think he's working on a version of Batman as well. The Brave and the Bold, or whatever it's called. The Brave and the Bold, the Brave.
Okay.
That version of Batman, but I don't know much about it, or if that's correct. Bit of fun for you. Warner Brothers have put a bunch of free films on YouTube, and I'm telling you this because one of the films they've put up there is Critters 4.
Okay.
So if you've listened to our Christmas episode...
Yeah, I've not seen any Critters movies, so...
Well, there you go. It's free to watch now. You wouldn't have to pay for it. Also, talking about our Christmas episode that we did with the sequelizers, the Unequal sequelizers, when we pitched our version of Gremlins 3. Well, apparently Warner Brothers has reportedly started planning a Gremlins 3 and a Goonies 2.
Hey, if that movie is set in a museum in Tring, I want some rights.
Yeah.
I want some...
Well, apparently it is Chris Columbus as well is writing it and doing it. So,
hey,
could you imagine if they've listened to that episode?
Can you imagine?
Suddenly, the next thing we know is your pictures on the cinema screens.
I mean, I would be suing.
We could sue, right?
We could. That's my IP.
Go back and listen to that episode. It's fucking brilliant. Well, that's the kind of Gremlins 3 we want. Anything else and we'll get angry, right?
Yeah. If it's at least not set in Britain and starring Nick Frost, then I'm out.
Yeah. Again, these are two films that have been rumoured for God knows how many years. Gremlins 3 and a Goonies 2.
Oh, yeah. Goonies 2's been batted about for so long.
Do I even want to
Goonies 2?
I
think they've missed the chance. I don't think we need one.
Would you do a remake of Goonies?
I think I'd just leave it alone, actually.
Yeah, you think it's good enough?
You could do Goonies now because kids have all got mobile phones and they don't really go off on adventures. They're too busy. All their adventures are online. It's not really... I don't think Goonies would happen these days. What
about a Goonies when a bunch of adults take all their phones off their kids, helicopter them into the middle of nowhere, drop them?
Yeah, that's Battle Royale, dude.
I don't want them to kill each other. Just find their way home like Homeward Bound. Drop them in with a dog. People love dogs. Call me, Warner Brothers. I've got a pitch for you. Also, this week, the Oscar nominations have just come out. Best Costume Design, Gladiator 2.
Okay, that's probably not going to win.
Best Animated Film, this is where we rock up, is Inside Out 2 and Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. So it did get an Oscar nom.
I want Wallace and Gromit to win. I think something else will probably win instead. I
think the one who won the Flow won Golden Globe, so I guess that's in the front running at the moment. But
I think that's what everyone's money's on.
They're up against Flow, Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, Memoir of a Snail. Don't know what that is. No. Wallace and Gromit and Vengeance Most Foul is best animated film. So that's good luck to all of them, sequel wise.
Good luck to all of them, but secretly bad luck to all of you that's not Wallace and Gromit.
Best visual effects, Dune 2, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Alien Romulus are all in that.
I think Dune Part 2 deserves to win that.
More than Better Man or Wicked?
Yeah, I haven't seen Wicked yet, but I think that scene, the high contrast scene in Dune Part 2 deserves an Oscar on its own, really.
I think Dune Part 2 deserves it as well, but I haven't watched many Oscar films. I'm trying to do a bit of a catch-up maybe this year. Best Actor, no one made it from any of Dune Part 2. Best Actress, no one made it in that. Best Cinematographer, Dune Part 2. Mm-hmm. Up against some strong competition.
I think that's probably a good shout.
Best Production Design, Dune Part 2. So basically Dune Part 2 is taking up a lot of the technical stuff.
Which I think is fair, because I think technically it's amazing and it's the story where it sort of falls down a little bit.
It has been nominated for Best Picture, though.
Oh, has it? Okay.
Yep. Along with Anora, Wicked, Conclave, Emily Perez, which everyone seems to be angry
Perez,
about.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so I can't get angry with people. Dune Part 2, The Brutalist, The Substance, A Complete Unknown, I'm Still Here, and Nickel Boys.
Okay. I think I might go and watch A Complete Unknown this week.
I have seen it. I can talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Best Director. Denis Villeneuve did not get a directing nod for Dune Part 2. Are you surprised about that?
No. Because he did for Dune, didn't he, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And maybe they're waiting for Dune Messiah. Who knows?
Maybe.
But good luck to everyone, I know they listen to this podcast at the Oscars and stuff. It's a big night in February.
Who knows?
In the round, I think Dune Part 2 would do quite well in technical stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to win Best Film, though. I don't think there's other films that are getting more campaignage. Yeah, we'll see. We'll report back at the end of the February roundup. We always seem to do. So that's a bit of fun. But that's all for sequel news. So quite light, really. I think just January is a bit of a slow month for Hollywood and the studios and stuff. Yeah, it's always a slow month for us, but we've dragged it out.
It's been all right, actually, because there were so many sequels in December that it's sort of tided us over. And actually, a sequel that came out in January we didn't have time for, and we're probably doing February, I guess.
Is that Dave the Banker Dave?
Yeah, Banker Dave.
Banker Dave.
We don't have to do it,
No, I think we're might have to. Once I've looked at schedules and put my podcasting brain back in, and then we're starting to send out requests for season 8 as well now. I've done a few of those the other day. So
yeah, we've got a recording scheduled, haven't we?
I've definitely got 3 people said yes. So there's our season, 3-person season. Done.
We're a quarter of the way, dude. That's a quarter of the way. Is that a quarter of the way? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'll take that. Or 3.5 would be or something. I don't know.
3 is because we need 12, don't we?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Let's move on to sequels that we've seen. So this is me. So it's...
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Sequels that we've seen. Sequels that we've seen. Na. Sequels that we've seen. Right.
In terms of ones we can talk about, just one.
Was that my birthday?
It was your birthday, yeah.
We did. That's the only sequel I've watched as well. For my 40th birthday, guys, I am now 40. I'm fine with this.
Dave is now officially old.
I'm fine.
I saw a post on the England Rugby Instagram the other day asking all the rugby players what year you have to be born in to be considered old. And none of them said less than 1992. So if you're born before 92, you're officially old.
I'm fine with that. I feel like I'm a better person now than I was when I was, say, 20 or 18. Less of an idiot, I think.
I would like to... late 20s, early 30s, probably my best time, I would say.
Physically.
Yeah, physically, emotionally, everything-wise. That was my best time.
Yeah, it's amazing that you still wake up now and you're like, oh, something still hurts, or something like that.
Yeah.
And more worries about
I've still
other
got
things.
a bad back. Yeah, good.
Oh, yeah, the back, the knees, the shoulders. More headaches, weirdly.
Oh, okay.
You really have to make sure you've drunk enough water to stay away from migraines and stuff like that, which is
Do you
not
snore?
fun.
That's the thing.
Yes!
Right. That's why you're getting headaches, buddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Through the snoring?
So, yeah, because you don't get into a proper REM sleep when you snore. It keeps your body awake, like slightly awake, and so you get headaches.
Yes, apparently I have started to snore, and not as much as you.
No, I can highly recommend the CPAP machine. It's like changed my life.
Yes.
I don't get headaches anymore.
Well, because you used to snore unbelievable.
I know, right?
I stayed in a house with Rich once after our graduation in the lounge, and this is your house where you were living in Cheltenham at the time.
Yeah.
Me and our friend James were sleeping in the lounge because lots of people were over, and I was like, "What is that noise?" And James was like, "Mate, that is Rich snoring," and I went, "Fucking hell!"
I know.
And James was like, "I had to sleep with that for 2 years."
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. This is what happens when you play rugby and break your nose multiple times.
Yeah. But, okay, see, I don't think I'm quite there. I was blaming it on a new pillow I've got.
Okay.
Or age.
Yeah, I mean, it's an age thing as well. But like I say, CPAP machine, it will change your life.
In school, when they're teaching you absolute bullshit you're never going to know, the things that you'll need to know is tax, how to invest your money, stuff like that, how to fix car kind of simple things. I think that's important. I think they've also got to warn you that your metabolism just disappears at mid-30s. Your eyebrows and nostrils and ear hair just fucking go mental for no apparent reason. Which is weird. This is the kind of stuff they have to warn you about. And I don't feel like no one mentioned nostril hair when I was young. It wasn't a thing. Disgusting. Anyway, for my birthday, some very close friends and family.
What's this podcast about again?
I don't know. I hired out a very small screen near us, and we watched with some drinks and a delicious birthday cake, Top Gun Maverick, and it was fantastic, and it still plays brilliantly. We had a slight buzz on.
And your mum and dad had the best time.
Oh yeah,
they were dancing and singing. Like they were sat right in front of me and my wife. And it was more entertaining watching your mum and dad than it was the movie.
My dad loves Top Gun. He loves Top Gun Maverick. I chose Top Gun Maverick because I knew it was going to play well. There were also a couple of friends in there that had never seen Top Gun Maverick.
Wild.
My friend Kit and my friend AJ have never seen it. I knew AJ wasn't going to be a fan of it. I know him. He's an angry man. But Kit seemed to like it. I've watched a lot of films with Kit over the years. I've known him, since he was born. I'm a couple of years older than him. And we've watched... I've got memories of watching the X-Men film with him, the original one, the Godzilla 98 version. We both got a love for that. So I really cared what he thought, and he liked it. So that was good. And I had a great day, and I loved watching that sequel. And I thought, I have to pick a sequel on my 40th birthday to watch. And it was great. Thanks for coming, you and your lovely wife.
It was great. We really enjoyed it.
We
came away going, we need to do this more often.
Be adults, yeah.
Yeah.
My friend, other Blonde Rich, that came on our Twilight episode on Another Slice, he brought me a birthday card, and instead of saying 40, he bought me a 4, and then he wrote a 0 on it. So that's good. That made me chuckle for a while.
That's a very rich thing to do.
He also I sent out an invite, and it showed that we're going to watch a film. This is going to be this time. And he didn't read the invite and thought it was just drinks or something. And then he told me, "Oh no, when you read the invite back, it's very clear what it is." He got in trouble with his wife that night because she thought they could get a babysitter, and couldn't. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't watched any other sequels. You watched any other sequels?
No, that's it, mate. I've watched lots of movies, but not sequels.
Okay, well, let's move on to movie club. Do it.
Okay. Movie club.
Okay, what you've watched?
A lot. So I'll start with the ones that I think I might have mentioned in the yearly roundup, which are Challengers and The Wild Robot.
Right.
So Challengers I thought was okay. It didn't blow me away. I'm the only person in the world, it would seem, who doesn't like the end. And it was good, but it wasn't great.
Right.
The Wild Robot, on the other hand, I thought was good. You know, I don't think it was fine, but I think it was good. And my son really liked it. Like, he really, really enjoyed that. So that probably hits its brief. In fact, I think The Wild Robot's up there maybe with some of the better movies I watched this month.
Thank you. Well, I'll take that as a positive for you.
So, going back to some of the bad movies I've watched this month, or the not so good movies I've watched this month, I watched the 2005 Chicken Little movie. That was my son's
George's
choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad, right?
I've never seen Chicken Little.
It's annoyingly bad. Zach Braff as Chicken Little. I'm like, why is a 40-year-old man playing a little child chicken? It's weird.
When Chicken Little came out, Zach Braff wasn't 40-year-old man.
Well, he was still a fully grown man. He wasn't a child. He was
probably in his 20s.
His voice sounds weird. It sounds weird and wrong. He's 10 years older than us, dude. He was at least in his 30s. 2005. Anyway, so yeah, that was. I didn't like that. That wasn't great. I also watched a film called Miller's Girl, which is what's his name? The Hobbit.
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman
with Ortega, whatever.
And
right?
yeah, General Ortega. It's not great. It's okay.
It's a bit icky, right?
It is icky because it's an old man and a young girl, but nothing actually happens. There's nothing kind of goes on between them. I'm not sure if there maybe like is some intent for something to go on, but nothing actually does. It's just a bit like superficial and blah, I would say.
Okay.
It thinks it's cleverer than it is, I would imagine.
Is that a Netflix?
I think Paramount? I watched it on Amazon, I think.
Okay.
I also watched Bob Marley, One Love.
Oh, I haven't watched this yet. I'm going to get around to it.
Yeah, again, it's very bland. Like, it's very, like... You can tell, like at the end, like every member of his family is a producer, essentially. And like you can sort of tell because they don't really say anything bad. You know, he's a saint. He's a hero all the way through it. You know, like
it's one of them.
It is one of them. It's very sanitized. Kind of doesn't really get into it. Like if you compare that to Better Man, which exposes all of Robbie Williams' flaws, you know. Like it's very, very sanitized. Me and my wife watched it together. The music's great, but we both sort of thought it was fairly weak.
Yeah.
And on the kind of fairly weak, I also watched Fly Me to the Moon, which is on Apple TV.
Yes, didn't get to watch this. My wife really wants to watch it.
Yeah. Again, it's fairly weak.
It looks weak.
It's sold as a comedy and it's not very funny. It's really not funny.
Is it rom-comedy?
But sort of. It's fine. It's like if you watched it on a Sunday afternoon with the family, it's fine. You know, it's not. You know, it's not anything to write home about, but also there's nothing there to get angry about either. It's just fine. I watched a documentary called Golden Era, which is all about GoldenEye, the game, not the movie.
I saw this somewhere the other day, and I was like, I might watch that.
It was on Amazon, and again, it's I wanted it to be better. I wanted more people talking about their love of GoldenEye and what it meant to them, and it was a little bit
It's the best game ever. It was quite a bit ever.
Basically, they'd got to talking about GoldenEye halfway through, and then they talked about, like, what happened to Bond games after that. And I'm like, I don't care. They were all rubbish. Like, just go back and, you know, I just wanted to think about GoldenEye. But it did have a guy called Stuart Ashen, who's the former sequelizer on it. You know, on the documentary. Yeah.
Fun.
So that was nice. Yeah, it came up like comedian and podcaster. I was like, oh, sequelizers. So yeah, that was nice to see.
People don't realise how big of a deal like GoldenEye is for a certain gaming generation.
Like it's sort of invented the first person shooter in the way that we do it now. Yeah, multiplayer, absolutely. Like, you know, I think you can't underestimate what a big deal the N64 was. And having a little joystick you could use with your thumb instead of a pad, like that was incredible. You know, that was really incredible back in the day. And playing that with your friends,
amazing,
Just
all night, literally, sleepovers all night. Just
we still do it now.
We do still do it now.
We still do that now, Dave. Like that still happens. Okay, getting on to the good stuff. So I watched a movie called Getaway, which is Nick Frost and Ashley B.
His new horror comedy.
Yeah, and he wrote it and he stars in it, and it's got a twist that I really appreciated. I thought I knew where it was going, and it's going to be that standard, you know, a standard kind of Wicker Man-esque kind of Midsummer kind of movie.
Yeah,
and then there's a twist, and you're like, I'm here for this. I enjoyed it.
He was on with Chris Hewitt on the Empire Film Podcast, and he was talking about this film. And apparently that was the first thing the idea he came up with was the twist, and then worked backwards.
I think that's the twist is the best thing about it. Absolutely. It's not world moving. It's not groundbreaking, but I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it.
And I bet he's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's great.
And Aisling Bea's in it.
Aisling Bea great in it. And actually, the kids are pretty good in it as well. So yeah, it's definitely worth watching. Is she using her real
accent as well?
Yes, she is. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! Love that.
But yeah, she does make lots of references to being English in her Irish accent, though. So that is a bit weird. But yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I also watched the 4:30 movie. Which
I watched this as well now, so we can talk about it.
Okay, cool. What did you think?
It was okay.
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with that movie.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate quite a lot with it. I was like, if I had a cinema like that near me when I that age at that time, I would have done exactly what they would have done, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And hang around, and obviously with that geeky, and it's nice. As a Kevin Smith film, I enjoyed it.
It's a semi-autobiographical Kevin Smith as a kid movie, right?
Yeah, and all the cameos are all there and stuff.
Is it a massive return to form for Kevin Smith? Probably not, but it's on the right track.
Yeah, I think
better than the other stuff he's produced recently. So, and I genuinely enjoyed it. I genuinely had fun with it.
I liked the vibes of it. I liked the era I was set in it. I think it felt like it was from that era. Yeah. I also kind of felt like a lot of it was written by Kevin Smith, which is a good thing.
Absolutely.
The references and the dialogue, so that's all fun. Yeah, it was a pleasant way to spend, less than 90 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was a nice, short movie. It zipped through. It was light. It kept me entertained. At no point was I bored. But again, at no point did it take any risks or do anything differently. It was just nice.
Yeah, it was just nice. That's a lovely way of putting it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm moving on to, I've got 4 movies that I watched that are in my pretty damn good category.
Oh, wow. You had a good month then.
I did, yeah. So I watched A Real Pain, which is the Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin.
You went to the cinema and saw this?
I did go to the cinema and watch it, yeah.
I knew you wanted to see it.
I did, yeah. And it was really hard to watch, actually. It's like one screening a day. It's been quite difficult to get
to catch. That's my problem with it. I'm never going to get to that time.
No.
It's either at like 3:30 or at 9.
Yeah, and I went at like 3:30 because I'm not working. Yeah. So I come back in the afternoon to watch it.
Perfect.
It's really good. It's really good. I think, if anything, it could be longer.
Really? Great.
I could have more of it. I think I want more. Kieran Culkin especially is brilliant.
Well, he's clearing up awards for it.
He's very, very good. He really is. And, I think that, there are 2, I watched 2 movies on the same day, actually, both with actors from Succession in, because I watched The Apprentice on the same day. And they both absolutely steal the movies. So Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain is the best thing, and I think Mark Strong is probably the best thing in The Apprentice as well.
Yeah. Again, nominated as well, Oscars.
Did I say Mark? I didn't mean Mark Strong. I meant Jeremy Strong. Sorry.
Jeremy Strong. I think I said Mark Strong as well.
Did you?
The bald guy.
Yeah. Not Mark Strong.
A Real Pain, I think Jesse Eisenberg is up for script as well. I have enjoyed the press for A Real Pain because I liked those two talking. Yeah. And they got very different styles. Like Jesse Eisenberg, who directed the movie, correct? Right?
Yeah, he did.
He's
written
very
and directed.
Planned and specific and like a certain way. And Kieran Culkin apparently is just like, rock up. I know what I'm doing. You don't have to give me any notes.
And that is their characters in the movie as well.
That's what I hear.
They basically play themselves, I think. But there's a really lovely scene where like Kieran Culkin is sort of the fuck up all the way through. Yeah, there's a lot of love between them. And there's just one point where Jesse Eisenberg's just like, he doesn't understand how amazing he is and how much I want to be him. If he could just understand how incredible he is. It's really good. It's really good. And I was really kind of blown away by it. It's not perfect. I think that it needs more, it needs a bit more of that exploration and that relationship. And it could have a sequel to be honest. I would like a sequel. It's sort of like you'd
like to spend more time with those characters.
Yeah, like a Sunset kind of trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Like a before trilogy, sorry. You know, like that, I think would work really well.
Wow. Okay.
That would be nice. I'd like that. But yeah, but like I mentioned, I watched The Apprentice, which is the Donald Trump one, Sebastian Stan as Trump.
Right.
And one, I came away with it thinking, it's amazing how, just how dull Trump is through this movie. Like, he's boring. He's like
nothing but words.
I saw something the other day that was like, it's not that, I think it's like the worst thing about all these men who are having a massive negative impact on the world is just how unimpressive they really are.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that sums The Apprentice up, is Trump is just really quite unimpressive. Like, he's vain and vapid and just very dull, but it gets twisted by greed and by someone else, by Jeremy Strong's character really kind of shapes Trump to be the sort of person that never back down, never admit you're wrong, never kind of that sort of thing. And you do sort of see him turn from this like relatively ineffectual, like rich boy into what he is today during that movie. That there is a horrific scene in it, which, you know, there is just to warn people who are going to watch that, there is quite a horrific scene between Trump and his wife in that movie. So do be warned of that. But I do think, and it took me back a little bit because it's a little bit out of context, and it just sort of hits you, and you're like, oh God, hang on.
What was that on? Did you rent that one?
That's on Amazon. So. Okay. There's quite a few movies on Amazon at the moment, actually, that are all like part of the Prime subscription. So
I'm definitely going to watch that one.
Yeah, so that's worth watching.
Watch that.
I also watched Civil War. Which you recommended.
I liked, but I know some people didn't like it.
I didn't love it, but I liked it quite a lot. It wasn't what I expected.
No,
it genuinely wasn't what I expected, and I would say up until the last sort of 10 minutes or so, I was really invested in it. And then when they get to the White House and stuff, I'm a little bit like, it's just turned into a sort of boring action movie sort of thing now. But I think the performances in it are really good. I think Kirsten Dunst is very good in it. And yeah, it's definitely worth watching. It really took me by surprise. It was really so much better than I thought it was going to be.
The Jesse Plemons scene.
The Jesse Plemons scene is amazing. Like where that comes from, like just like it's outstanding.
I think it's definitely worth a watch, and I know people get different things out of it, but I thought it was quite a powerful bit of cinema.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see, you know, what we're going through now and what
I think it serves as it is supposed to serve as a warning, isn't it? Right?
Yes.
It's like we show you this stuff so that it doesn't get repeated, and of course it does get repeated.
That's history, isn't it?
But I think, you know, it's never felt closer, I would say, that movie. And definitely worth watching. And then one I only watched last night at time of recording was The Iron Claw.
Hey!
Which again, you recommended to watch. Which is...
I would have put something...
Wow.
I would have played... Yeah, it's brilliant, but play something happy afterwards.
Yeah, so I only watched it last night, and... I haven't had a chance to watch something happy since then.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do need to.
Have you researched it?
I have. Like
the real story's worse.
I know. Yeah. Like, so the movie is about this wrestling family, the Von Erichs.
Von Erichs, yeah.
And they're kind of a famous family in wrestling, but there's so much tragedy. It's like four brothers. Well, in real life, it's six brothers, right?
Yeah,
and
it's mad.
Yeah, but in the movie, it's five brothers. One's already dead. He dies as a child. And then the four brothers, three of them all pass away during the course of the movie, and there's only one left.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all kind of really horrible. But really interesting and really good. And Zac Efron I think Zac Efron definitely his best movie, right?
Oh, easily. I'm not quite sure how he didn't get nominated for it last year, to be honest.
I thought he was wearing prosthetics because he looks really different in the movie. But I looked it up and I didn't realise he had like a horrific accident and smashed his face up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's why he looks very different. But also, like, yeah, the true story is, like, I've read a bit from the director who basically said, I had to leave one of the brothers out because it was so horrible and tragic that if I'd put it in the movie, the audience would have just been like, nope. Like, everyone would have just been out. It would have been too much. Jeremy Allen White is in it, and he's very good. Like, so the cast is very good. Like, everyone in it is
Harris
great.
Dickinson, and then Holt. Is it Holt McNairy?
Yeah, Holt McNairy. Yeah, he's
the dad.
Really good as well. Yeah. And I think that's the bit that's fiction. By all accounts, the dad was actually not as bad as the dad is in the movie.
Oh, okay, good.
Like, I think that they make the dad like this domineering, overpowering figure to like help with the narrative, essentially. But apparently, in real life, he wasn't really quite like that. So
it's a bit nasty on his legacy, then.
Well, yeah, a bit. But then, who knows? Who knows, right?
Who knows? Oh, good bunch of films, Rich.
I mean, yeah, that's it. I've got a lot. I've got my last one.
Okay.
that I've been wanting to watch for ages, which is Longlegs, and I finally got around to watching it.
I did a bit of this at work, so I'm now on that period when I have to stay away from it.
I don't know if you'll like it. I think it might creep you out too much.
It's a bit weird, I know.
It is a bit weird, but Nicolas Cage is full Nicolas Cage, and it's great.
I've seen some of the scenes,
and yeah, I think the ending is a bit predictable. I sort of called it a little bit, but there is a bit of a twist in it which I didn't get.
That's good for you.
Yeah, that I didn't fully pick up on that twist. So yeah,
I like the choices. I like the choices that Nick Cage is doing at the moment. He's doing some
definitely
really interesting stuff. Because it was kind of, they were trying to market it for a while, like a little bit like it's Seven, but it's weirder than that.
Oh, it's weirder than that. Yeah. Definitely. It's more, it's definitely supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of a horror as well as a police procedural kind of.
Nice.
thing.
Well, that's a good bunch of movies.
I mean, it turns out when you're unemployed, you can watch loads of good movies.
Yeah. I watched some good movies and some bad movies and movies. I don't know. Okay. My first one I watched was around Christmas, was a film called Carry On, the Taron Egerton.
Oh, yeah.
With Jason
it's on
Bateman.
my list of things to watch. Like, I've heard it's good, but not great.
It's some really dumb moments in it. Really turn your brain off. Taron's fine. Bateman as a bad guy is fine. It wasn't quite as, I don't know, I wanted kind of like Die Hard-ish, and it wasn't. But it's fine. The rumours are that they might get a sequel, so I don't know if I'm ready to see more of that character, but we'll see where it goes. What else did I watch? I rewatched The Prestige with my wife, and I was like, you're going to love this movie. She didn't. I don't understand why. No.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was really annoyed.
I thought she'd like that.
Yep.
Like, my wife really likes that movie.
I think it's Nolan's one of the best, to be honest. I really enjoyed The Prestige. I think that's a really good movie. What else did I watch? I watched Better Man. I went to finally when I saw Better Man.
Yeah, you watched it, yeah. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was really great. The monkey thing, yeah, it's weird at the beginning, but you quickly get over it. Weirdly, I was annoyed that it didn't leave out, it left out some songs I wanted it to put in there.
Yeah.
I wanted Strong. That's my favourite Robbie Williams song. But I have listened to the soundtrack and there's some really good versions in there. Yeah, the monkey thing's great. The thing that annoyed me is when they didn't say that Never Ever wasn't a number one hit. Like, everyone was really down on that song. That's a fucking banger. It's brilliant.
What, All Saints?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does get to number one.
Number one, but Robbie Williams and Liam Gallagher.
Oh, well, yeah, but that's just because them. Like, that's...
It's brilliant.
And Robbie's already basically come out and said that the whole point of that movie was him trying to apologise for being so horrible to Nicole Appleton.
Yes. We were listening to
Nicole Appleton?
It is, because we were listening to the radio the night before. She does a thing on magic, because I'm super old now, and I love magic radio. And I had to explain to Tiff who Nicole Appleton was. And I was so glad I explained who she was, too. And the next day, when it came up in the film, I was like, Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think more people should go and see it. It also made me think that we should do unequal biopics. I think that'd be quite fun.
Okay. I love a biopic. So
I love a biopic as well. Because I went and saw A Complete Unknown as well yesterday, the Bob Dylan.
I've not seen it yet.
James Mangold film. And it's not as good as Better Man, but I think they're very different films, obviously. I think A Complete Unknown is a bit long for me.
Okay.
Dylan isn't as much fun to spend time with. I did come out singing some of his songs, so that's good. Everyone's really good in it. Timothy Chalamet, I think, got nominated for an Oscar. So did Ed Norton. It's a very well made film. I knew this kind of know the story beforehand. The whole famous Dylan thing when he was obviously the folk singer and he was their idol, and he went to that concert and blew away, and then came back the next year with electric guitars. And the hoo-ha over that.
Because James Mangold has form for a decent music biopic. So he did Walk the Line.
Walk the Line, which is great. Which is great. Brilliant.
Yeah. So that's sort of why I was excited. So I thought, Walk the Line was
go
brilliant.
Check it. Go watch it. Johnny Cash is in there again. He's good there.
Is it? Is Johnny Cash played by Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, I wish it was, but it wasn't. No, it's he's played by Boyd Holbrook.
Oh, right, yeah.
From Wolverine and stuff like that, and Narcos, the early season of Narcos. He's really good, actually, as a Johnny Cash. And so's the woman from Top Gun Maverick, who plays Joan Baez.
Joan Baez.
Yeah, Baez. Really
Monica
good.
Barbaro.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's really good. It's a good film. It is a good film. It's just a bit long for me. And yeah, difference between Better Man, you kind of enjoy spending time with the crazy monkey and see what he's going to do next, kind of thing.
Yeah.
As in, Bob Dylan he's a bit of a downer for most of the film. But he's a genius.
Bob Dylan and Robbie Williams are probably the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of personality, right? Like Robbie Williams is your, if you met him, you'd probably think that guy's incredibly fun, but it's probably very dark inside. Whereas if you met Bob Dylan, you'd probably think that guy's incredibly boring, but it's probably actually very kind of interesting.
Yes. And that's pretty much the difference between the movie. And like you, I love a good biopic. So we should definitely do that. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched my classic rewatch. Well, not a rewatch, first time I ever watched it. I watched With Nail and I.
Oh, nice. You've never watched With Nail and I before?
I've never watched With Nail and I.
Wow. Okay.
I know it's a staple for lots of comedy fans and everything. And yeah, I've been waiting for it. I don't know why. And I finally watched With Nail and I.
You should watch With Nail and I is what you should watch when you're like a teenager.
Yes, like, because it didn't hit as well when I was 40 years old.
Oh, mate.
And I feel a little bit disappointed by that. There's some of the bits I really like. I love that when they declared they went on holiday by accident and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've gone on holiday by accident.
By accident. Help us.
I just have a very distinct memory of, I think I was about 18 when I watched it, of like driving around in my friend's car and leaning out the window and going, "Slappers!"
It is good, and Richard E. Grant is fantastic in it, and so is Paul McGann. Weirdly, when I used to much younger, when I was 17, 18, in Bishop's Stortford, Paul McGann lived in the area, and I worked at a bowling alley, and he used to come bowling a lot.
Wow.
And I used to get quite excited because he was Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, wicked!" If I knew how like famous
he's from
this
With
film
Nail
would
and
be, I would definitely have got him to sign a With Nail and I poster. Anyway, I didn't, and I've rewatched it, and I think it's good. It's just not the level that everyone keeps it on about. And I now kind of understand when I make people rewatch The Goonies and stuff now, and they come back to me and say, "I don't know what you're all talking about."
No, I think With Nail and I is one you watch when you're a teenager and you hold in your heart, and it probably isn't as good as you think it is.
I think, yes. I think when you watch it young or you're there, it's great. I love the bit at the beginning when they're in the kitchen and they're trying to unplug the sink and it's just disgusting and stuff.
Yeah.
And the bigger boys.
At the time I watched it, bigger boys.
Yeah.
And at the time I watched it, I was kind of like really into like the young ones and that kind of humour. Like my humour was that kind of level. And so I think it really worked. And also, I was drinking a lot and smoking weed and doing that sort of stuff that they do in that movie. And but whereas these days, I would look at it and be like, "Oh, it's just really stupid, isn't it?"
I don't want to say it's really stupid. I think the fans of it love it. But I really wanted to love it. I think I went in with far too high expectations.
No,
and I try not to do that. And But
That's a shame.
Richard E. Grant is fantastic in it. The bit when he's in the cake shop and the bit he keeps, the Uncle Monty, how they got the house and how he's completely thrown his mate under it and stuff. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's good in that way. But I don't know. It didn't quite connect as much as I wanted it to. That's all I've watched.
It's very quotable, though. Do you understand where a lot of quotes and lines and things come from? No?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I feel like I've let everyone down. Right, let's move on to TV. Go on then.
How's TV Club go?
I think it's... Beep, 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 beep.
Oh. Boo! TV Club. Okay. So before we talk about The Traitors, which I know you're itching to do...
It's on my list.
Which I haven't seen yet, because I like to wait for the series to end and then watch it.
So you haven't watched any of it?
No, none of it. No.
Okay.
I like to wait till the series is over. This is what I've done the last 2 series. Wait for it to be over, watch it, fast forward through all the tasks, because they're all boring.
No, you shouldn't. Stuff happens in some of these tasks.
Nah.
The last task is rubbish.
Yeah, all the tasks are rubbish. Anyway, I mentioned earlier, I've watched The Penguin,
right?
Which I've really enjoyed. It's like The Sopranos. Like it's. I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed The Batman, the movie.
I've heard that by a lot of people.
Yeah, I actually really liked it. It's very much a gangster movie. It's not a Batman thing. You know, it wouldn't have to be The Penguin at all, to be honest. It's really good.
There's Colin Farrell's in it, and the woman's meant to be brilliant. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. Who plays
she's
his
the mother
wife.
in How I Met Your Mother, and I can't remember. I do know her name. Oh, it's going to stick in my brain now, and I can't remember. Chris... I want to say Christina.
I want to say Christina, but that's all I've got.
Milotti? Is it Milotti?
Again, yeah, sounds right. Let's go with it.
Okay, all right, we'll go with that.
But apparently
I think
great.
It's Christina Milotti, but she is amazing. She's brilliant in it. I'd also say that the guy who plays Victor is also amazing. I don't know what his name is. I'm sorry, but yeah, he's really good. The kid, yeah, it's really worth a watch. It's really worth a watch.
Do they set it up for another season afterwards?
Yeah, there could be another season, but they could equally not. You know, it's one of those ones where...
I think it depends on how much Colin Farrell wants to get back in the prosthetics a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of prosthetics.
I can imagine that takes your time and does one on you a little bit. Yeah. I've heard... I do think I'm going to watch Penguin. How many episodes is it?
I think it's 8.
8? I can do 8. It's not
loads. It's not loads. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely worth a watch. And I was avoiding it because I wasn't that fussed about it.
Well, the Batman has done damage to me for watching that, I have to admit.
I avoided it, but you should watch it because it's better than that.
Okay, good.
And
good
it's not a superhero thing. So if you're not into superhero things, then you wouldn't like. Do you know what? Do you know what I thought when I was watching it? I was like, Esther Manito would like this.
Oh,
very much a gangster movie, a gangster series kind of.
We should send her a message and see if she's watched it.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, she would like that. So yeah, that I watched. I have watched other stuff and I can't remember.
I've actually made a list if it makes it easier.
Okay, go on then.
I've done like you. You've been looking for work. I've had some time off from podcasting, so I've watched a lot of TV series that you've watched. So Slow Horses season 6, I enjoyed very much.
Yes,
brilliant. Not as good as previous series, I think.
Oh really? I thought it was. I thought there were a couple of episodes that I.
They're really good stuff. Shrinking season 2.
Yes.
That TV series is incredible.
It is. Absolutely
a marvel.
Yeah.
That last episode, I was like, get there. And he did. I watched, me and my wife smashed Rivals. Tift loved Rivals.
Oh, yeah. The Rivals, yeah.
And we've kind of spoken before, but Danny Dyer and Catherine Parkinson
are the best in it, right?
There is the relationship, the central relationship between the annoying rich geezer and the young woman I think is a bit icky.
Yes, 100%. Very icky. I could live without that being in there.
Yeah, me too. Danny Dyer, I don't think I was ready for what he brings to that series.
I told you, I said this, right? I came away from what I took away from The Rivals is, fucking hell, Danny Dyer is a good actor.
Yeah, he's fearless.
Yeah.
He does it all in that TV series. He's really good. And Parkinson is, for me, the standout. I think the secret main character.
The best thing in that series.
Yeah, absolutely. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the second season to be forward. Tennant's always great fun. Absolutely chews up the scenery and stuff. And Aidan Turner is good as the Irish shock jock kind of presenter. Really enjoyed all that. Amazing cast. Better than I thought I was going to enjoy it, actually. Tiff loved it, so that's good. I watched The Acolyte.
Okay.
I've finished it.
What did you think?
Good first episode. Gets a little boring. Episode 5 is fucking brilliant. If anyone's like not on board with this, just go and watch episode 5, and it's great. Do you remember which one episode 5 is? You must know which
one's episode 5. No,
it's with the fucking cool fight scenes in the forest.
Okay, yeah. Episode 5's great.
That was great.
I didn't get bored with it. I stuck with it. I know that there are episodes that are flatter than others.
Yes,
but it didn't bore me. I was intrigued the whole way through, and actually, I thought it was a lot better than.
Yeah, I would watch more. I know it's not now or something, but how can you end it with that and then end it on that last shot and Star Wars fans not wanting to watch more?
I know, wild, right?
I think it's like, we definitely missed an opportunity. And there's stuff in there that links back to other Star Wars stuff and whatever. I thought it was interesting.
Me too.
I think some of the design of the stuff was good.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew?
No, that's on the list. It's on the list next.
I've really enjoyed Skeleton Crew.
That's the Jude Law.
I was surprised at how much I actually enjoyed it. I would say I think the final episode maybe lets it down a bit. Oh. But other than that, I think it's really good.
Does it set it up?
Only a little bit.
Set it up? No? Okay.
I think it might be done.
I've still got to catch up with Ahsoka. That's how far behind I'm doing stuff.
I didn't get on with Ahsoka. I wasn't.
I've watched 2 episodes of Ahsoka last year, and I was very confused because I have no idea what all the characters are from Rebels.
No, yeah, you've got to watch.
Slight problem.
Yeah,
and I've tried to get through Clone Wars and all the TV series, and
I know I haven't managed it either. Yeah, no.
So, but The Acolyte, I thought was great.
Yeah, me too.
If anyone's on the fence, been here and think bad things, go check it out. It's definitely worth the time. Great first episode. Simmers along okay. Episode 5, fucking wow. And then the last 2 episodes are great. It's all in there. We should probably talk about the finale of Gavin and Stacey. Are you happy how that ended?
I didn't. Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I can't remember now. That feels like ages ago.
I don't want to give spoilers away, so we can't talk about it.
I thought we talked about that December one, didn't we?
No, we recorded that before it was out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was fine.
Okay. And again, on my list, I had Traitors as well, but you haven't watched it, so we can't talk about it.
Sorry, I haven't watched it, but you can talk about it in the abstract if you like.
I adore Traitors. I think it's thank God it's on in January, because what a bleak month this is without it. I don't think it is good as maybe the second season. I think that's still the king. But I enjoy the twists and the changes they made. Again, people do very stupid things. But I think that's half the fun of it, that you'll shout it at the TV. I look forward to it. I think both me and you should take part next year. We should get in, pretend we don't know each other. We have a podcast together. That's our secret.
Okay. I don't really fancy it, to be honest, mate. But
3 weeks in Scotland. It looks lovely.
Yeah, but you have to go and do like tasks and shit.
You'll be like, can I fast forward the tasks?
Yeah. So like, can I skip the tasks, please?
I'll be at this round table. I'm just sitting here.
I don't want to jump out of a helicopter or any of that stuff, you know. Yeah.
There's always a helicopter.
I'm not down for that.
Always a helicopter. But I think the American one comes out, season 3 is just dropped as well now. So I will now smash through that as well. And then I'll be sad that I've got no more Traitors to watch. I think that's all I've watched, but that's a lot of TV series I've
There's
catched
only
up.
one thing I did want to mention, which I haven't. It's only the first episode that I've watched, because I think it's only the first episode's out, which is Severance is back.
Severance is back.
Oh, I love Severance.
Everyone loves Severance.
So good. But I think I'm just really excited, and the first episode hasn't let me down.
I've seen some camera shots. It looks great.
I'm fully back in.
It's one of the things I have to watch. Have you watched A Man Inside with Ted Danson on Netflix?
No.
Me and my wife have just started that. We're about 3-4 episodes into that. Very much enjoyed that. It's from the makers of The Good Place, which is good. I like The Good Place, especially.
Oh, I think I've seen a trailer for it, actually.
He goes undercover in an old
people's home. Yeah.
It's delightful.
Okay.
You might like it. And plus Ted Danson. Ted Danson's just...
Yeah.
Man, I want to grow old like Ted Danson. Just great head of hair, funny man, delightful. But that's it. Have we watched anything else?
I think that's it. I think that's about it. It's been a lot of movies. I've made a point of trying to watch more movies.
Okay. So let's move on to what's coming up. What's coming up on the box office? Doesn't work. I need that last word. If anyone knows what I could put in there, get in contact. Okay, so February sequel-wise, there are 2 biggies. And those biggies are Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy on February the 13th. And then February the 14th, Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, is Captain America Brave New World.
Okay.
Either of those you excited about?
No, not really. I was about to say, I'm not really looking forward to either of those, I don't think.
Are you all caught up on your Bridget Jones's films?
No, I don't think I've watched any since the first one.
Oh, wow, you got some catching up to do then. She has a baby in Bridget Jones and the Baby or something.
Okay.
There you go.
Good.
Colin Firth's in there. Hugh Grant's in the first 2.
Yeah.
Patrick Dempsey's in the 3rd one. It's still... How does she live in London like this with her wage is still the big question, but we'll see what they do in the 3rd, this new one. So that's something to enjoy. Other films coming out. The documentary Becoming Led Zeppelin looks fun.
Okay.
Love Hurts, a new action film with Ki-Hun Kwan in it, looks fun. The animated film Dogman, which I've watched the trailer about 1 billion times, it seems.
My son loves the books.
Oh, it's a book. It must have been a book.
Loves the books. Yeah. He's well into his Dogman. So Dogman's a spin-off of Captain Underpants.
Yeah, it looks the same kind of animation.
So,
I like that movie, by the way. The Captain Underpants movie is a lot of fun.
Yeah, George loves Captain Underpants. So the kids in Captain Underpants make a comic, and Dogman is the comic that they make, essentially. So, and George is very much into making his own comics. And yeah, he really likes those books. In fact, those Captain Underpants books and the Dogman books have been a key to actually getting him to read and be interested in reading and writing, because that's been very challenging.
Then it's done its job. I had Asterix, he's got Dogman.
Yeah.
Other films coming out. Memoir of a Snail, so that animated film is out this month.
Okay.
Also one that's been touted a lot for Oscar-wise is I'm Still Here. I don't know anything about it, so I'm sorry. Also, didn't do well but if we were still doing our podcast about Baywatched, this would have blown our mind that she was in talks, like she got nominated for a Golden Globe and stuff. Sadly didn't get nominated for an Oscar, but something called The Last Showgirl.
Who's this?
Pamela Anderson.
Oh, right, okay. You didn't say that.
Did I not? Pamela Anderson.
You just said this has been good with Baywatch. She got nominated. You didn't say who.
Pamela Anderson.
Okay, all right. Oh, right, cool. Yeah, I've seen a lot of her, like, on the red carpet with no makeup on and stuff. It's great. Yeah, fair play.
She's finally getting her due. Next film out is The Monkey, which is a horror film. Directed by the same guy that did Longlegs.
Yeah, I've seen the Osgood Perkins, isn't it, the director? I've seen the trailer for it. I think it's a Stephen King, isn't it?
It's a Stephen King short story, I believe, or something like that.
So we know how well those go. You never know. You never know.
And then there's a Woody Harrelson film called Last Breath. I've watched the trailer. It looks quite tense. Underwater. Okay. Time's running out kind of thing, I think.
Cool.
But sequel-wise, we've got 2. We've got Mad About the Boy, Bridget Jones, and Captain America without Chris Evans' Captain America. But we'll see. And a Red Hulk. And it's going to be good. We'll probably have to find some other things to do. Well, and also, we are going to cover... because Rich has seen it, and it is a sequel.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the original yet, so I have to watch it. What's it called?
It's called The Bank of Dave.
The Bank of Dave and The Bank of Dave 2. They're out on Netflix. It's about a man who makes his own bank in Burnley.
There's 2 documentaries as well. Bank of Dave documentaries that these movies are based off of.
Yeah. And Roy Kinnear's in it, and it's a very British film, right?
Rory Kinnear, not
Rory Kinnear.
Roy Kinnear was his dad. And has been dead a long time.
I knew the voice though, the person. Yeah. So I think that's going to be next week's. So I better do some watching.
Cool. Okay. I'm up for that.
I've got nothing else to say, as in, that's everything. You know, I said this was going to be a quick episode, and we're on about an hour and 23 minutes.
It's not been a quick episode, is it?
I'm not very good at this. Anyway, okay, Rich, can you see people out, please?
Absolutely. So if you want to get in touch with us and let us know what you've been watching this month, then do that, and we'll read it out next month. It'll be a bit delayed, but hey, it's fine. Go on your social medias. We're on all of them still, although I'm trying to convince Dave that we need to come off of
we're coming off. We're coming off
of the bad one as soon as possible.
Okay. The truth is, the person I'm talking to at the moment that we were recording with on Monday is the last person that I'm in contact with on Twitter. Okay. After Twitter and after what the fucking madman did the other day, we're out. Well,
so after the next couple of weeks, we'll no longer be on X/Twitter/ the bad place. And obviously, like, Meta is probably just as bad, like Facebook and all that sort of threads and stuff. So God knows where you'll find us. But get in your social media of choice, type in Unequal Sequel. I'm sure you'll find us on one of them. We will be around somewhere. You can, if you don't use social media at all, just send us an email. We're unequalsequel@hotmail.com. And that's a lovely place for you to find us. You can find us on YouTube and TikTok and all those kind of places as well. But yeah, come and say hello. Tell us what you thought. And also just tell us your thoughts on anything we've done, and we will read them out in the end of the month roundup like we did with people at the start of this episode. Like Dave has mentioned, we are starting to record season 8, and that will be coming out in kind of March, April time,
March.
I think. Yeah,
any more people say yes, and then we'll get
March, April kind of time that will be coming out. So keep an ear out for that. We will let you know when that's going to drop. So hit the subscribe button and hit the auto download button. And when that does, it'll drop into your popular choice every single week for you automatically. Because isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
Also, if you really like us, join us over on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can hear us talk about the Power Rangers movie, because that's what we've just done on Disenfranchised. Movies that should have had a sequel but didn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, join us over there to hear that. You can hear extra bits of all the interview episodes and Box Set Mentality, where we're talking about George A. Romero's Of the Dead series, which I'm really enjoying at the moment. I have a feeling it's about to go downhill somewhat.
Me too.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But yeah, also, whilst you're listening, if you wouldn't mind just going on your podcast player and giving us a 5-star review, or whatever it is, 5, I don't know, muffin review, or whatever you can give on your on your pod player of choice. Give us a 5-thingy review. If you can tap us out a review as well, that'd be amazing. They all count. They help people to find the podcast, and also it helps us on our way to becoming official Rotten Tomatoes certified critics.
It is. Lovely. Thank you very much, Rich. You nailed that as ever. January is ending. Thank God for that. We're on to February now. So like Rich said, send all your stuff in and we'll read out the end of month next month. It's a much shorter month. I believe it's just a 4-weeker. This, hopefully. So,
yeah, February's a short month, isn't it? 28 days.
It is. So thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for getting in contact. Help us support the podcast. You're all brilliant. It's a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. It's a goodbye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. Sequel to this one. Have a great week. Bye-bye. That was a long one. Honestly, I looked at it and went, okay, there's barely anyone's, not many comments and stuff. That's good. Barely any news. That's good. And yet somehow we've still dragged it to an hour and a half.
I did watch a lot of movies.
And I watched a lot of TVs. And I watched a lot of movies. And I've enjoyed that very much because I'm trying to be happy and positive.